Hi there, I'm Sarah. I'm a neurodivergent and disabled survivor of CSA and other forms of abuse. And I use my lived experience by working with support organisations and being in community with other survivors. I'm also an academic autism research advisor, a published author, and I'm doing an autoethnographic master's by research into my experiences of spiritual abuse. Now, all this is great. It helps me to understand what has happened to me, gives me purpose by supporting other survivors, and friendship, all of which are really precious to me. But what I want to talk about on this Zebra Day is what I'm currently in the process of learning, following on from when earlier in this year it all became a bit too much. Now, I tend to avoid facing my complex trauma by burying it under layers of business and activity I overwork, push through, and mask, rather than finding out what I need in order to be able to compassionately care for myself. And I usually find it hard to recognise this until it's too late, and have often had bouts of extreme burnout followed by a long crawl back to recovery. So even though I've learnt about the importance of rest, recuperation, and refilling my cup, I still find it really hard to apply these things to myself. But this time, however, it's been a bit different. This time I said no to the business and yes to looking after me. I put my studies on hold for a year and I gave myself permission not to return if I didn't want to. And this was new: choice, agency, allowing myself to make a decision to put my needs first rather than feeling obliged to struggle on. And this felt good. It also felt good to then begin focusing on working out what else I need. And one of the things I've discovered is the importance of reconnecting with my creative self by carving out time to freely explore what feeds my soul, gives me joy, and provides me satisfaction without any guilt. I'm learning this is not indulgent, it is as essential as breathing. I have never really considered myself to be creative. I can barely draw stick men. I'm in awe of talented folk who can produce incredible pieces of art. But being good at art isn't the same as being creative. What I was missing was the joy of the process, irrespective of the perceived quality of the outcome. I needed the spark that was the inception of an idea and the resultant flow state that occurs when that seed grows and flourishes. Creativity didn't have to be an acclaimed oil painting. It could be anything where the conceiving, doing, and making took me to a place of deep contentment and satisfaction. So instead of giving all my limited energy to work, I flipped it and made creative nourishment the priority. I've still worked, but I have allowed the creative stuff to become more important. I took on less work, picked up hand sewing projects that had been started, abandoned, and left in ever-growing piles over the years. And it's a very ADHD thing to get excited about something, only to quickly lose interest and to charge off towards the next shiny distraction. So to completed upcycling this jumper and skirt, which I'm sitting on so you can't see it, for me is a double win. I've loved having the conception, the feel, the colours of the textiles, as well as the soothing, repetitive motion of the thread and needle joining the fabrics together. So by shifting my focus and giving myself the joy of hand sewing and other endeavours, I'm beginning to breathe again, to appreciate who I am and to live in a more sustainable way which soothes my trauma. I'm also finding that by prioritising my creative needs, it is easier to say no to projects that are not a good fit for me. Yeah, I can work out more what is feasible, what is desirable, and to say yes more authentically. So to finish, I authentically and enthusiastically say yes to sharing my new favourite culinary creation, Korean mushroom bulgogi, with you. I wish you bon appetit and hope you all have a dazzling Zebra